Well, just as we get started here in the introduction to True North, this is the boat at the dock, True North. We'll be talking a bit more about it when we're underway. It's a 38-foot sloop, Contessa 38, and she is rigged with of course, a roller furling jib and a main, but there's also I do have a stay sail, which that stay for the forestay is rigged off to the side for short tacking for now. The boat is you'll see there. I have rope ladders from the sides, which I'll talk a little bit about later, but those are basically for self-rescue. If you go over the side when you're single-handing and you're clipped to the boat, you got to be able to climb back in. So I have 3 rope ladders per side, and of course the jack lines here which run aft and forward for short clipping. We'll talk some more about that in a bit, and then of course while we're here, the Watt and C hydro generator, which generates electricity, and then the Windvane also currently rigged and ready to go. That is a Windvane, the hydro vane, which steers the boat while under sail. It doesn't use any power. It's wheel steering again, and really just wanted to show you the boat from this vantage point. Double spreaders on this mast, which is a solid design, and the rest of it we'll talk about when we're underway. Well, welcome to True North. This is just a bit of an introduction to the boat. It is a 38-foot Contessa, so a Contessa 38, which is the big sister of the Contessa 32. And the Contessa 32, of course, is a well-known hull design that was one of the only boat in its class to finish the 1978 Fastnet race. The design of this boat is exactly the same. It's all just stretched, in length another 6 feet, the beam a bit further. It's a 15,000 pound displacement as opposed to the 32, that's a 10. It is sloop rigged. As you can see, I got a furling head sail with the 100% jib right now. I did add a cutter stay. It's not. It's actually off to the side right now. Main sail with. I don't have lazy jacks. I just have flake reefing. Pardon my fenders. I'm most of the time single-handed, so unless I'm in the big water, I just kind of chuck them onto the side. It's more out of being lazy than anything. Of course, upgraded the life raft. That's a couple of years old, and coming around to the back of the boat, you can see got a bunch of fuel actually in the cockpit. I'm trying that out for a storage location. It's nice and low. Of course, it's sort of self-fitting. As you probably know, people keep their fuel on the rails, which it gets them out of the way, but then they can get hit by waves and whatnot. It's wheel steering. Some of the early models of this boat were tiller. This one is wheel. I do have Garmin radar. I also have the hydro vane Windvane for steering. And I also have the wheel pilot. So when I'm motoring in light conditions like this, I'll use the wheel pilot. And then when the wind gets going and I shut the engine off and I'm sailing, I will use the hydro vane. This unit is actually awesome. I love the thing. I took it off of my other boat and put it on this boat. It's good for boats that are up to about 50 feet long. I also have a Watt and C power generator, which is currently in the upright position. You see the propeller there. That can generate electricity. You'll lower that thing in the water when you're sailing, and it can generate more than enough power for all of my instruments, radar, AIS, VHF radio, etc. I've only haven't used it on a passage yet, but I have tested it. It does work. A couple of GPS devices on the boat, a Garmin, and then I have an old one as well. And you can also see the companionway here, and the Iverson Dodger, which I also love. Super strong with oversized tubing. The cutter stay, or the inner staysail stay, is lashed off to the side. People do have rigged the boat with an inner forestay. So I decided to rig it that way, more for offshore and storm conditions or heavy weather. For island sailing, I put it off to the side because I like to do short tacks, and I don't like to have to furl the jib every time I tack. Anyway, that's everything basically on deck. That's the Contessa 38 True North. So, True North below decks again. Contessa 38. This is the galley. There's the ice box there. Fairly simple, gimbaled stove with an oven, storage container, the usual kind of lockers. This boat does have hot water as well, so the engine heats the water as well as when you're at the dock. There's an electrical heater, so you can have hot water as well, and it's a pressurized domestic water system, which I think has advantages and disadvantages. The settee area on the boat, and various berths. The boat, on paper it sleeps 8. I think that'd be very crowded. There's a top little side berth here with the lee cloth on it that I've used for storage, and the grab bag. There's a berth here. This is notionally a 2-person berth, and I guess you could say sleeps 1 in comfort and 2 with pleasure, as the old saying goes. That's one of my dad's old jokes. The V berth, of course, sleeps 2. I've also got that used for storage for various things. And then there's 2 berths in the back here under the cockpit, semi-coffin, half-coffin berths, if you know what I mean. And of course, locker here and some other lockers here. It's 28 horse motor, diesel engine, new electrical panel that's about a year old. I did leave the old GPS device on, and a new VHF radio with an AIS transmitter and a receiver. VHF speaker, and of course the chart table is looks like a chart table with all kinds of stuff all over it. So that is True North down below, Contessa 38 in a nutshell, with the companionway ladder and up into the cockpit, which we saw earlier. That's one quick step up, so when you're single-handing or you're sailing at night, you can come up and basically get a 360-degree view without even going out into the cockpit, which is also a nice feature. And yeah, that's it.